Love some budget gem batch shizzle options as much as me? Hi guys, I'm Nymfria and welcome back to the home of FPL videos. Today I'm going to look at a differential draft of players under 20% ownership at the time of recording this, of course, so that you can consider some differentials away from the pack. Be that taking an early punt or adding them to your watch list. Before we get stuck in, I'm hoping to reach 5,000 subs before the start of the season, so if you could, please smash that sub button. It's always much appreciated, Nym fam. Enough admin, let's get into the batch shizzle differential draft. First up, we have Pickford in goal. Everton's fixtures have fallen favourably, placing them top of the fixture difficulty rating for defence difficulty, as they don't meet any of the traditional top 6 in their first 6 opening fixtures. The Toffees conceded 48 goals last season but managed to keep 12 clean sheets, placing them 7th for clean sheets overall. But interestingly, this saw them sitting on the same amount of clean sheets as Spurs, Liverpool, Leeds, Brighton and Arsenal. The number 1 goalkeeper at Everton made 89 saves in the 2021 season. With this early great run of fixtures and his 5 million price tag, Jordan could be a cheap and consistent way into the Everton defence. Now, Pickford had a great run out at the Euros, which could mean he misses the start of the season, though I've not heard anything to say that's the case just yet. With that said, Everton have signed Asmir Begovic this summer, so with that signing you'd expect him to be their backup keeper. With Asmir's tasty 4 million FPL price tag, should Pickford miss the start of the season, you could snap up the budget Begovic and have a super cheap and uber differential keeper getting some game time under his belt for both you and Everton. Moving on to our differential defenders, much like Everton, Liverpool have some cracking opening fixtures. They face Norwich, Burnley, Chelsea, Leeds, Crystal Palace and Brentford, meaning they face only Chelsea from the top 6 last season in their opening 6 fixtures of this coming season. With Trent one of the top picks already in FPL Manager's early drafts, especially as he seems to be back from injury and playing in pre-season, this means his teammate Andy Robertson has been left largely out in the cold by FPL managers, selected by just 12.8% of us this pre-season. Robertson actually got 1 more points than Trent last season, 161 to Trent's 160, and he's 0.5 cheaper than his defensive counterpart. Liverpool have invested in their central defence this season with the signing of Konaté, and Virgil van Dijk is back from his lengthy injury, meaning we might start looking at the Liverpool defence record of the 18-19 and 19-20 season once again. Soufal was a nice surprise last season. His attacking threat, resulting in 9 assists, took a lot of us FPL managers aback for his 4.5 million price tag. This coming season, the new 5 million price tag plus West Ham's defensive record could be putting FPL managers off. West Ham only managed 9 clean sheets last season. It doesn't exactly scream safety to FPL managers who'd like to know if an attacking threat doesn't come, there's a possibility of a clean sheet. That said, it's exactly that reason why Soufal may still be a viable option for us FPL managers this season. West Ham seem to have a much more attacking team, and this lends well to Soufal's style of play and could see him amongst the assists yet again. Lamptey is a tough one. He promised so much at the start of last season with 1 goal and 3 assists. However, injury and rotation meant that he didn't become the cheap attacking defender we were all looking for. Still, he has great potential if he gets the game time he deserves. It's at this point that future Nym is interrupting past Nym to tell her that when she recorded this video, Lamptey was fine, but unfortunately now he has an injury that may rule him out for the start of the season. So if that does turn out to be the case, then you could consider Beltman from Brighton at the same price as Lamptey. He got 1 goal and 1 assist last season in 2,280 minutes. However, you could, just out there, think about Lewis Dunk. It would cost you 0.5 more, but he does carry that attacking threat with 5 goals in 2,932 minutes. So now handing you back to passing him to continue on with the rest of our differential team. And Brighton have good fixtures in the opening run. In fact, until game week 9, only Leicester and Everton clear red in the fixture difficulty rating. It's why the Brighton goalkeeper Sanchez is so popular. Well, that and his 4.5 million price tag. I do not usually, in fact, make that I do not ever suggest Arsenal defence as an option to anyone in FPL. However, this is a differential video and we're feeling a bit bat-shizzle, so it certainly would be different if Arsenal could pull their defence together this season. I can say that as a long-suffering Arsenal fan. However, Arsenal fit in well with these rotating defenders in terms of the fixtures. Holding was our top scoring defender last season, which doesn't say much with 105 points, but from a minute and price point of view, he could be a cheap bench option. If Ben White joins Arsenal as touted, he would be placed ahead of Holding on my watch list. He's the same price, and with Louise gone, I suspect he'll get regular game time. Don't expect many points though, there's no attacking threat here. It'll just be if Arsenal can get on those clean sheets and give these defenders the clean sheet points they need for us to make them a viable option. Cody has been added in for much the same reasoning as Holding. He's cheap and he has good rotating fixtures. Wolves kept 10 clean sheets last season, not something to write home about, but they have a new manager and a new goalkeeper. This could make the Wolves defence a more viable option again. Ayling was in this position in this draft, but Leeds fixtures are not the best to start with. Moving on to the midfield, and well, for fixture reasons, I think Chelsea are a team getting massively overlooked. Havertz had a great run in the Euros and he also got 4 goals and 6 assists last season in just 1,512 minutes played. Pretty impressive for his debut season. If he can nail down his spot, then this Chelsea midfielder could be a very hard player to ignore, even at his slightly moderately premium price of 8.5 million. I'm not sure I'm brave enough to go there at the start of the season. I just want to make sure he's nailed first. But he'll be on my watch list for sure, especially as I don't think the fixtures are as bad as they look. It could prove very lucrative if you got on him early and he continued his summer form. Sonny is a favourite of mine, as anyone who's followed my channel knows. Beyond my little hokey cokey with him in the early part of last season, missing out on his early season big hauls, I started the Sonny 6, which meant I had to keep him until he paid back all 6 goals that I had missed out on from jumping on and off of him. But even after I did, I held on to Sonny and he repaid me with kind. Those that stuck with him all season will have been delighted with his 17 goals and 11 assists. The transfer talk of Kane to City seems to have spooked FPL managers away from Sonny. That, coupled with his 10 million price tag and mixed opening fixtures, has only 14% of FPL managers considering Sonny at present. Should Kane stay at Spurs, we all know how good the Kane-Son partnership can be. He may just be massively overlooked. That said, even if Kane moves on, Sonny is still a great player, so I'm not sure we should be writing him off just yet. Next up is Sarr. I did an extensive video on promoted assets which talks about Sarr in more detail, but we'll all remember his 5 goals and 7 assists during the 2019-20 season. Last season, Sarr managed 13 goals and provided 10 assists for his teammates in the Championship. Not bad for somebody who's been priced at 6 million this season. If you wanted an alternative to Sarr, then Buendia for just 0.5 more could be worth worth your consideration. He seems to be settling in well at Aston Villa with a productive pre-season under his belt so far. I am sure with the attacking threat that Aston Villa now hold that Buendia will improve on his 1 goal and 7 assists of the last Premier League campaign. Managers always seem to stick with the safety of Salah, meaning that Sadio Mane tends to take a shadowing role behind his Egyptian teammate. Whilst Mane did get 7 less goals last season, he did add another assist compared to his 2019-20 returns, finishing on 11 goals and 11 assists for the season. It's often tough to know who's going to go through their purple patch between Mane and Salah, as we can very rarely afford both, and choosing to invest our cash elsewhere. Getting on Mane at the right time could be very rewarding at just 3.1% owned compared to Salah's 49.9% owned. He's a massive differential with all the same fixtures and 0.5 million less. Should you wish to stick with a Liverpool differential but are not willing to fork out on the 12 million of Mane, then the guy I tipped to be one of the top scorers of this season, Jota, may be more up your street. At just 7.5 million in comparison to his expensive teammates and 11.1% owned at the time of recording this, if he gets a more consistent run in the Liverpool team, he should add to his 9 goals of last season. There's not much to really say about Brownhill. He's cheap and he gets minutes, something none of us can moan at for a cheap 4.5 million bench filler. He only got 1 assist last season, so he's not going to set your world alight. Should Gilmour get up and going at Norwich, he might be a better option in this position and at the same price point. One that could be thought about on an early wild card, definitely a watch list player. Moving on to our forwards, and I've chosen to go with Vardy. He's a differential because many of the FPL managers choosing to get on Leicester's attack have gone with his cheap teammate Iheanacho based on his late season form. However, we can never fully write off the Vardy party, can we? He still managed 15 goals and 14 assists last season, placing him 3rd for points in the forwards category, only behind Kane and Bamford for points. He is pricey at 10.5 million, but Leicester's fixtures are tasty, and should he hit the ground running fresh off of a nice long holiday, then he won't stay at just 8.4% owned very long. Next up is Wilson. I've had a love-hate relationship with Wilson. This guy hits a purple patch and then disappears for days like you wouldn't believe. That said, he did spend a large part of last season on the sidelines due to injury and still managed 12 goals and 6 assists. Newcastle have somewhat decent fixtures until game week 10, so if he were to hit a purple patch like we all know he's capable of, he could be a sneaky differential at 7.5 million and just 4.9% owned. Lastly is Tammy Abraham. Okay, so this seems a little odd, I must admit. But hear me out here, this is Batshizzle differential after all. Giroud has left Chelsea now, so there's more potential for Tammy to get more game time. That said, that isn't why I added him into this draft. It's more for the gossip that seems to be getting louder and louder about the fact that Arsenal are interested in buying Abraham this summer. Now, I can't imagine Tammy is going to want to go from one club where he plays second fiddle to another. So, if he moves to Arsenal, I'm assuming it'll be on a promise that he gets more game time than he does currently. Our fixtures aren't mad brilliant in the first 3, but after that they improve massively. Should you wish to get a more nailed on striker though, Benteke could be worth a sneaky differential look. He got 10 goals and 2 assists last season, the majority of them coming at the end of the season, where he did find some more goal scoring form again after getting some more regular game time under his belt. I can't be sure where Patrick Vieira sees Benteke in the shake-up of Crystal Palace, but at 6.5 million and 1.3% owned, he definitely falls into the Batshizzle differential category. Well, that's it you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, are you considering any of these differentials? If so, who have you got your eyes on? Please check out the sponsors of this video, fantasyfootballfix.com. I have an affiliate link for them in the description below should you wish to get a discount, and please, if you've enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button, subscribe subscribe and smash that notification bell. It's always much appreciated. Until next time, Nymfria out.